In the heart of South Bend, Indiana, where the cold winters bred both grit and character, a young girl named Skylar Diggins was learning to navigate life through the rhythm of basketball. Born on August 2, 1990, to Tage Diggins and Renee Scott, Skylar was raised in a tight-knit family unit that instilled in her the principles of hard work, faith, and excellence from an early age. Her mother, who would later remarry Maurice Scott, played a pivotal role in shaping her discipline, while Maurice became not just a stepfather but a steady anchor who supported Skylar's ambitions on and off the court. South Bend wasn't a glamorous city by any means, but it was sacred ground to Skylar, where dreams first took shape under streetlights and within high school gymnasiums that echoed with the sounds of greatness waiting to be born. From her earliest days, Skylar was different. She wasn't just playing basketball for fun, she played with a deeper sense of purpose. Her natural gifts were evident, but what separated her even in elementary school was the intensity she brought to the game. Her coaches recall a fiercely competitive young girl who hated to lose and who was already dissecting plays with a maturity well beyond her years. She had an instinct for movement, space, and rhythm, seeing angles before they opened and attacking them with unshakable confidence. By the time she entered Washington High School, South Bend was already watching. They didn't just see a local phenom, they saw a future legend. Skylar's high school career was a thing of awe. She led her team to 4 consecutive state championship games, winning 2 titles and cementing herself as one of the best players Indiana had ever seen. She scored over 2,700 points in her high school career and was named Indiana Miss Basketball in 2009. Her accolades piled up: McDonald's All-American, Gatorade Player of the Year, and ranked as one of the top recruits in the nation. Yet through all of this, she never detached from her community. Skylar remained grounded, warm, and focused. She understood she was carrying more than expectations, she was carrying hopes. She was not just representing South Bend, she was trying to reshape how the world saw young black girls in sports. When it came time to choose a college, her decision surprised no one. Notre Dame was just a short drive from home, but it offered far more than convenience. It provided a spiritual home, a rigorous academic challenge, and a basketball program on the cusp of something extraordinary. Head coach Muffet McGraw saw in Skylar a rare player who could not only lead on the floor but lead in the locker room, in the classroom, and in life. Under McGraw's tutelage, Skylar grew into one of the most dynamic point guards the college game had ever seen. She became the face of Notre Dame women's basketball, guiding the team to 3 consecutive Final Four appearances and 2 NCAA championship games. Skylar's college years were marked not just by her excellence, but by her evolution. She wasn't just a scorer or distributor, she was a general. She controlled pace, dictated tempo, and elevated the players around her. With every drive, every steal, every assist, she told a story of discipline meeting vision. She graduated with a degree in management entrepreneurship and never once allowed stardom to distract her from academic excellence. In those years, she was redefining what a student-athlete could be. Fierce on the court, intellectual in the classroom, and unapologetically confident in both. In 2013, the WNBA came calling. Drafted 3rd overall by the Tulsa Shock, Skylar entered the league with the weight of expectation and the pressure of carrying a struggling franchise on her shoulders. Tulsa was not a glamorous destination, and the team was far from championship contention, but Skylar embraced the challenge. In just her 2nd season, she erupted, averaging over 20 points per game, earning her first All-Star nod, and being named to the All-WNBA first team. She was awarded the Most Improved Player honor, but the truth was, she had always been this good. The world was just catching up. Then came the ACL injury in 2015, a crushing setback that would test not only her physical resilience but her mental and emotional strength. The road back was arduous. The physical therapy sessions were relentless, but even more grueling was the internal battle. The doubts, the isolation, the fear of not returning to form. Yet true to who she's always been, Skylar didn't just come back, she came back better. Stronger. More deliberate. More centered. She returned to the game with a sense of self that was no longer tied solely to basketball. In 2017, Skylar married former Notre Dame football standout Daniel Smith, and together they began a new chapter that would stretch and shape her identity. The following years brought new challenges and joys. In 2019, she gave birth to their first child, but behind the scenes, she was navigating postpartum depression and the immense emotional toll of being a working mother in professional sports. For the first time, she publicly expressed how difficult it had been to balance motherhood with the expectations placed on her as a star athlete. She opened up about playing through postpartum without adequate support from her franchise, a decision that not only highlighted the gaps in the WNBA's infrastructure but sparked necessary conversations about maternal health and athlete well-being. That period marked a turning point in Skylar's journey. She began using her platform in more vocal and intentional ways. She became an advocate not just for women's basketball, but for women's rights, mental health, and equity in the workplace. Her candor resonated deeply with fans and fellow players alike. She wasn't just one of the best guards in the league, she had become a catalyst for change. Her influence pushed the WNBA toward implementing improved maternity policies and greater support for mothers across the league. In 2020, she made another bold move, signing with the Phoenix Mercury. It was an opportunity to play alongside WNBA legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, but also a fresh start in a franchise with championship aspirations. Skylar responded with some of the best basketball of her career, averaging nearly 20 points and 5 assists per game while remaining one of the most efficient two-way players in the league. She made back-to-back All-Star appearances and helped lead Phoenix to the WNBA Finals in 2021. But more than the wins or losses, Skylar's presence in Phoenix symbolized her ability to thrive amid reinvention. Off the court, she became one of the first female athletes signed to Roc Nation, Jay-Z's entertainment and sports agency. Her alignment with the brand was more than a business move, it was a statement. Skylar had always embodied both authenticity and ambition, and Roc Nation gave her a platform that recognized her value as more than an athlete. She began leveraging partnerships that matched her values, spokesperson roles, charitable work, and community engagement that focused on uplifting young women, especially those of color. In 2023, after a second pregnancy, Skylar's name again made headlines, this time for choosing to sit out the WNBA season while dealing with personal matters, including a very public separation from her husband. Her decision was met with both support and speculation, but once again, Skylar handled everything with poise and integrity. She changed her social media handle back to her maiden name, Diggins Smith, symbolizing a personal reclaiming of identity after marriage. She spoke openly about healing, rediscovery, and self-worth. In a culture that often reduces athletes to mere performance machines, Skylar reminded the world of the full humanity behind the jersey. Throughout her journey, Skylar Diggins Smith has transcended the sport. She has become a mirror for a generation of women navigating ambition, identity, family, and societal expectation. She has redefined what it means to be a professional athlete in the modern age, where activism, vulnerability, and motherhood aren't side notes, but central narratives. She's more than her stats, her awards, or her highlight reels. She's a reminder that evolution is not a weakness but a form of power. Every stage of her life, from prodigy to icon, has expanded the possibilities for those who follow. Today, whether she's coaching her son's basketball team, advocating for gender equity in sports, or training for her next return to the court, Skylar Diggins Smith stands as one of the most influential athletes of her generation. Her story is not yet finished, and perhaps that's the most exciting part. She's still writing chapters, still breaking barriers, still walking into arenas with that same South Bend fire burning in her chest. Thank you for walking through the life and legacy of Skylar Diggins Smith, a force of will, wisdom, and resilience whose impact stretches far beyond the court. She's not just a WNBA star, she's a mother, a changemaker, and a voice for generations of women redefining greatness on their own terms. Her journey is a reminder that power doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it flows in quiet, relentless waves. And in every step she takes, Skylar carries not just her name, but the hopes of all those still rising.